Good morning. It's January 29th, 2026. I am on US 395 heading south just past through Richville, Washington, on my way to Central Oregon to meet up with some people and do some camping. I know YouTube's been around a long time, but honestly I don't watch that many YouTube videos, or didn't used to. Usually used to use YouTube to kind of find, if I needed to fix something around the house or whatever. YouTube videos are good for that, but I like to go camping. I like to go camping out in the woods away from people, and don't always get to do it, so I decided to start watching other people go camping, and that's kind of how we're here. I've followed a few different YouTubers, and one of them, Primal Outdoors, does a lot of camping and stuff like that out of his van and different things there in Central Oregon. And every year he kind of hosts this work camp with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. Normally they go and they cut some invasive juniper, but this year I guess they are doing some fence removal on a historic ranch down in Central Oregon, so that's where I'm going. Gonna meet up with them and hang out, do some work, and do some camping. A little bit of a slow start to the day. I was supposed to be on the road. I want to be on the road by about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and end up being about an hour to hour and a half later than that. Dryer decided randomly to come on at 4 in the morning. No indications or anything. Apparently that's some kind of a relay that gets stuck on a control board. Obviously couldn't do much with it, but I was able to go and pull the panel off, tap on the relay, and get it to stop, and hopefully hold out until the replacement part gets here next week. So that's that. Seems like every time I want to go camping, something around the house wants to break. Sometimes you just gotta deal with it, I guess, right? Anyhow, not much more to say. Good morning. Made it into camp yesterday afternoon, got set up, and everything seemed to go all right. Met up with some pretty decent people, hung out around the fire, had a good time overall. Heading into town this morning into John Day, Oregon, because unfortunately there's a few things that either I forgot or issues that popped up after I got to camp. First order of business, my DC power supply for my CPAP. I blew the fuse in it somehow, and while I don't need the CPAP every night, it is nice, to use it most nights. So got to go find a fuse for that. I also forgot to pack a pillow. I was going to grab the one off my bed, and it's still on the bed. So, which reminds me that you almost have to have separate gear for camping. Basically everything, because chances are if you're relying on something like trying to remember a pillow, I'm going to forget it. A couple other small things I want to look for. Wasn't able to charge a lot of my devices last night because my Jackery is an older model, so it's USB A to C, and I couldn't find, I think I only have one cord with me when I finally did find it, but that was this morning. But all my cords that I have are C to C, so they're not compatible with the Jackery. The only C2C connection is on the CPAP power supply, which obviously is not functional. So probably grab a couple more cords and take care of that. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to this morning. About a 30-mile drive in to John Day from where we're camped at. Alright, don't know how well you can see me here, whipping up dinner tonight. What we're doing tonight is a kind of a interpretation of Hawaiian loco moco. For those that aren't familiar, loco moco is basically white rice with a hamburger patty, gravy, I think they say mushroom gravy, and then an egg, kind of all served, everything served over top of the rice. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to use some turkey patties. Still got the gravy. I'm going to use this rice and quinoa mix and see how it turns out. So that's what I'm doing here. Got a couple different light sources running. I got an old Coleman mil-spec lantern from 1973, and then a Coleman North Star propane lantern hanging off the tree here. Still doesn't give me quite the light I want where I need it, but better than nothing. Alright, so we got dinner done here. The Loco Moco inspired creation. Looks pretty tasty. I look forward to enjoying it and seeing what I end up with.
So part of this camping trip is a day of volunteer work with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. We are out here in Central Oregon removing some fence. I guess the goal of this project is they're going to remove this barbed wire fence and then try to restore this creek to a more natural state. So we've got a bunch of guys out here. I'm out here basically pulling fence staples on the stays, disconnecting the clips from the fence post, and then there's another group of guys coming behind and rolling up the fencing and then pulling the T-posts out of the ground. So that's what there is. Made quite a bit of progress so far. I don't know how much there is actually to do, but it seems to go pretty quick.
February 1st, 2026. Heading back home to North Idaho after a few nights down in Central Oregon with Primal Outdoors Patreon group and work camp. Had a great time, met some pretty awesome people. Came from quite a few different places to meet up, and we had a fun volunteer project with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, doing some fencing removal along Murderers Creek in Central Oregon. The goal of that is to restore the creek to a more natural habitat. I guess what we did was phase 2 of 3. They're going to come back, I think, this summer and do some more work on it and try to make the creek a little bit more natural than what it has been. Anyhow, got about 3 hours-ish, maybe a little bit more until I'm home. Got to stop and get fuel one more time. And yeah, that's about it.